so we are now broadcasting. All right, are we ready to proceed?
Defense is ready.
Ready. All right, so the court will call cause number 323-112-802-20. It is styled in the matter of Calvin Moore III. We are here for adjudication of this matter. All right, so Mr. Moore, a couple things I want to go over with you. All right, so before we get started, I want to make sure that you understand that there has been a juvenile summons issued for you and a petition filed alleging that you engaged in delinquent conduct. I know the court will take notice that a summons was served upon Calvin Wayne Moore III yesterday, May 20th, 2020, and that there was a summons served upon Ms. Tamela Williams today, May 21st, 2020. All right, Mr. Moore, I'm going to hold up a paper to you. Look at this document here. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
You recognize this document? Do you remember seeing it? It's the first amended petition.
Yes, sir.
They gave you a copy of this, correct?
Yes, two copies.
Right. So 2 copies. All right. So Mr. Moore and Ms. Williams, if you could raise your right hands for me. Do each of you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give at this cause currently at trial, that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Thank you. You can lower your hands. All right. So Mr. Moore, I have some questions for you. If I can ask you, what is your full legal name?
Calvin Wayne Moore III.
All right. And what is your date of birth?
05/21/2003. May 21st, 2003.
So today's your birthday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. Are you an American citizen?
Yes, sir.
So a couple things I have to let you know and go over with you is that you have certain rights that carry on with any kind of trial that you have. Okay. And today is your trial. All right. So you have a right to understand. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything at all. But my understanding is there's a deal worked out by your attorney with the district attorney for you to admit responsibility for what you did in order to get a certain kind of punishment, which is probation in this case, right? So you have the right to remain silent, but my understanding is you wish to give up that right and admit your responsibility of what you did. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll also let you know this is a determinate sentence case for, okay, so it's for aggravated robbery. Okay, so you understand the worst thing that can happen on this case is that you could go to TJJD for up to 40 years. You understand that?
Yeah.
There's a deal. So I'm not talking about the deal. I'm just saying what could happen in the worst case scenario. You understand? And that before your 19th birthday, if you did go to TJJD and I sent you there for more than 2 years, then you would have another hearing in front of me for me to decide whether you finish out your sentence in TDC, adult prison. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you end up going to TJJD, this can be used against you in adult criminal proceedings. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. So also let you know you have a right to a trial. You have a right for the DA to present all their evidence and have me decide whether or not you committed the offense of aggravated robbery. Okay. Do you need them to prove to me that you did it, or are you willing to accept responsibility for what you did?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's an either or. Do you need them to prove it, or are you willing to just say they don't have to prove it?
They don't have to prove it.
Okay. And if you decide you don't like me for whatever reason, okay, and you don't like the way I think or my decisions, you have the right to have a jury make this decision. So the jury is just 12 people. They would be in the courtroom. You would be here with them. The DA would have to prove to those 12 people that you committed the aggravated robbery. Do you need a jury to make this decision?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, the next question is that you have a right to confront adverse witnesses. So any kind of person that says anything bad about you, right, they would have to say that in open court in front of me and the jury. And you would be able to look them in the eye as they're testifying against you. Do you need to face your accusers in open court to talk about the bad things that you did?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, this is a plea bargain agreement. Okay? My understanding is this is a 5-year commitment to TJJD to be probated over 5 years. That means if I accept everything. I would sentence you to TJJD for 5 years. And within 2 years, we have to have a hearing on whether you get transferred to TDC. But the deal is for me to give you a chance in the community to show that you can do well in the community, that you don't actually have to go to TJJD or TDC, right? You understand that's the deal that you have, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if I follow that deal, then you have no right to appeal. This will be final. You understand?
Okay.
So this could be 4 years down the road on your probation. You mess up, you get caught with some weed or something, you get sent to TDC. You can't go back and say, I don't want that deal anymore. I want to go back and have my trial. You understand you can't do that anymore, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Williams, you're here. Can you please tell me what your legal name is?
Tamala Williams.
Okay. And then what is your relationship to Calvin Wayne Moore III?
I'm his mother.
You're his mother. All right. Thank you. All right, Ms. Herrick, is there any reason why your client will not understand the proceedings today?
No, Your Honor.
Is he fit to proceed?
Yes.
Mr. Williams, you are here today because the state of Texas has filed a petition alleging that you have engaged in delinquent conduct, which, if committed by an adult, would constitute an offense against the laws of Texas. Namely, they're saying that you committed aggravated robbery. Okay. And what I want to do is, the parts that we're particularly talking about is that on or about December 2nd, 2019, in Tarrant County, Texas, that you intentionally and knowingly, while you're trying to take property from Colby Jones, you put Colby Jones in fear of bodily injury or death by using a deadly weapon, specifically a firearm. You understand what they're saying on December 2nd?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Also on December 2nd, they're saying you intentionally or knowingly while you're trying to take property from Michael Thomas, that you put Michael Thomas in fear of bodily injury or death, and in doing so, you use a deadly weapon, specifically a firearm. You understand what they're saying that you did there?
Yes, sir.
Also saying that on December 2nd, 2019, in Tarrant County, Texas, you intentionally or knowingly, while you were trying to take property from Kelvin Ifejika, that you put Kelvin in fear of imminent bodily injury or death, and in doing so, you used a deadly weapon, specifically a firearm. You understand what they're saying that you did there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and also on December 2nd, 2019, in Tarrant County, Texas, you intentionally or knowingly, while you're trying to take property from Damian Miles, that you put Damian in fear of imminent bodily injury or death, and in doing so, you use a deadly weapon, specifically a firearm. You understand what they're saying that you did there?
Yes, sir.
State waive opening?
Yes, Your Honor, but there was one other count of aggravated assault against Mateen Akuwisola, I believe is probably butchered that last name. I think it was paragraph 3.
It's not a stipulation. Let's see if I can hold it up. So going down. So the paragraphs have number 2 and 4.
Yes. Do you have, it should say Colby Jones for 2,
Oh, wait.
Michael Thomas for 4, Mateen Akuwisola for 6.
Did I miss that one? 6? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Good catch. All right. So, Mr. Moore, they're also saying that on December 2nd, 2019, actually, that part's missing, Ms. Smith. It doesn't have the date. So.
On or about the 2nd day of December 2019 in Tarrant County, Texas. It doesn't say that in there.
They cut off. Ms. Herrick,
Yes.
your client stipulate on paragraph 6, there's a line missing. I think the state is intending to put on or about the 2nd day of December 2019 in Tarrant County, Texas. I did.
Your Honor, I think my printer may have cut that top line off. That copy that I gave you is from my home printer, and honestly, I think the margins are messed up and it just got cut off.
Okay.
Andy did the paperwork correctly.
Okay.
I think one of the paragraphs is missing the word intentionally, but the point is made.
Yes. So how about this? I'm not blaming Ms. Smith. I guess the question is, do the parties stipulate that that language belongs in this paperwork?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Herrick, I saw you nod on the computer, but I didn't hear the affirmative answer.
I think we said it at the same time. I said yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. And also, all right, so Mr. Moore, on about the 2nd day of December 2019 in Tarrant County, Texas, that you intentionally and knowingly, while you're trying to take property from Mateen Akewusola, Akewusola, that you put him in fear of imminent bodily injury or death, and in doing so used a deadly weapon, specifically a firearm. Okay, do you understand what I said there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so between the parties for paragraph 4 on the stipulation I have, the intentionally seem to be missing.
Yeah.
Do the parties stipulate that the word intentionally belongs in this paperwork?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And then also in the second paragraph, it says respondent's name is Calvin Wayne Moore III, and that he is a male child. It says 16 years of age. When this was tendered to the court yesterday,
Yes.
the parties stipulate that as of today, he's 17 years of age.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good. All right. Ms. Herrick, I'm sorry. You were talking
I
to
said yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. All right, so stay waive opening.
Yes, Your Honor.
Exhibits from the state for adjudication.
And none.
Okay, from the respondent for adjudication.
No, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Moore, everything that I read to you, I want to see if you agree to the stipulation of evidence. Do you know what a stipulation is?
No, not really.
Okay, all right. Stipulation is when two people aren't going to fight about a fact. All right, so I see your pretty mom there, okay, on the screen, and I'm seeing that she's wearing a black hat. Okay, what color do you think her hat is?
Black.
Okay, so we can stipulate, we can just agree that her hat is black. There's no fight over the color of her hat. Okay, now if we could say, if we look at your attorney, Ms. Herrick's jacket, and if I said her jacket was yellow, what color do you think her jacket is?
Black.
Right. Could we agree that her jacket is yellow? I'm not going to agree that it's black. You see what I'm saying? So we cannot stipulate. So now do you understand what a stipulation is?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. So stipulate just means that we agree. All right. So I read through the paragraphs in the stipulation of evidence. Okay? So the question for you then is, do you agree to everything that is in the stipulation of evidence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want to ask you, everything in this document, is it true or is it not true?
It's true.
It's true. Okay. There's enhancements in there. They're saying that you use a deadly weapon, specifically a firearm. Okay, you heard me say that. I need to ask you, is it true or not true that you use a deadly weapon, specifically a firearm, in these offenses?
True.
True. Okay. Now, what I ask you is, did anybody threaten you to say true? Did anybody threaten you to say true?
No, sir.
Okay. Did anybody coerce you? That means anybody forcing you to say true? They threatened your mom, harm to your mom if you don't say true?
No, sir.
Did anybody induce you? That means did anybody bribe you or offer you like cash money to say true?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you saying everything is true because it is true and for no other reason?
It's true.
Okay. Now, I'm also going to ask you, do you know what the word voluntary means?
Yes, when you volunteer for something, but you're not really paid for it.
You're not paid for it. Okay. So, but you're volunteering for it. Okay. So are you saying this voluntarily? Nobody's paying you or making you?
No.
Are you doing this of your own will?
It's all me.
I'm sorry?
I'm saying this for me.
You're saying it for you. Okay. And so you're saying it's true because it is true and for no other reason, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So state waive closing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Closing from the respondent?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So based on the competent evidence from this hearing, the court will make a finding of delinquency. Specifically, the court will find that the allegations, the petition, as previously read by this court, were established by the evidence, and the court will make an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. And that will conclude the adjudication portion of
Your
this.
Honor,
Yes.
Actually, there is one point that I'd like to cover. There are a few more allegations in his petition. Maybe not the determinate sentence one. Are there
Not
any
that
other?
No, not determinate sentence. There is paragraph 6 through 8, but state will be waiving those.
6 through 8 on the first amended petition.
Yes.
So,
I believe it's criminal trespass of a habitation, UCW or unlawful carrying of a weapon, and fail to ID.
do you want to waive or do you want a rendition on them? And we're on determinate sentence and other stuff.
I'll just waive them.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then, Ms. Moore, we're looking at the allegations as stated in paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, paragraph 5 are found true as alleged in the first amended petition regarding child engaged in delinquent conduct filed on May 5th, 2020. And we are not doing anything with paragraph 6, paragraph 7, or paragraph 8. Okay. Is that correct, counsel?
Well, they're waived, so they're going away.
Right. We're not proceeding with those today. I'm not adjudicating or anything with them. We're just leaving them alone.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure Calvin understood.
Okay. Calvin, what's going to happen is they're going to waive them. That means they're basically dismissing it. And they're not going to go forward with those. Okay. Anything else we need to do for adjudication?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your
Okay.
Honor.
That will conclude the adjudication hearing for this matter. All right. Are we all ready to proceed with dispo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So the court will call cause number 323-112-809-20. This is styled in the matter of Calvin Wayne Moore III. We are here with the court having previously adjudicated this child delinquent. We are now here for a disposition hearing according to Texas Family Code 54.04. All right, stay waive opening.
Yes, Your Honor.
Exhibits from the state regarding disposition.
State would offer petitioners exhibit number 1, the social history.
Thank you. All right, the court reporter had that. And objections from the respondent.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Any exhibits from the state for disposition?
Your Honor, state would briefly call Bob Lewis.
All right, Mr. Lewis, if you can raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give at this cause currently at trial that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. All right, Ms. Smith, please proceed.
Mr. Lewis, how are you employed?
I'm a juvenile probation officer with Tarrant County Juvenile Services in the court intake unit.
Okay, and are you the person who put together petitioner's exhibit number 1, the social history?
I am.
And the respondent, Calvin Moore, is he your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just briefly wanted to go through this. Prior to these ag robberies that were on for today, has he been previously referred to the department?
Yes, he has.
And what for?
Go ahead.
And what for?
He was referred for resisting arrest and assault with bodily injury in May of 2019 and received deferred prosecution probation. And he was pending a referral for criminal trespass when the aggravated robberies were referred out of custody.
So other than the deferred prosecution, has the respondent been on any type of formal probation?
No, ma'am.
And has he been given any other services?
No services, no.
Okay. To your knowledge, does he have any mental health history?
No.
Okay. Has he been placed on an electronic monitor?
I don't believe he has.
I believe I'm sorry, it's not showing up on my computer, but it does look like he was on an EM from April 23rd, 2019 to May 24th, 2019. Do you see that on the social history?
I do, and I remember it now. He was pending court at that time.
Okay. Was the outcome of that completed?
It was.
Okay. Does this respondent have any substance abuse history?
He does have a history of marijuana usage, yes.
Ultimately, what is your recommendation to this court?
I'm going to be making a referral to the Tarrant County Advocacy Program and recommend that that be made a condition of his probation. And also based on his runaway history since loosely November to his arrest earlier this month, I would recommend an initial condition of probation be an electronic monitor.
Do you know where he currently is residing?
Well, again, he's been on the run for a few months, but his mother, who is his normal custodial caretaker, resides in Arlington.
Okay, is it your understanding that he will be residing with her during this term of probation?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
Tarek?
Yes, Mr. Lewis, what is Mr. Moore's current level in detention?
He is level 1 outstanding, I believe.
He's been doing very well while in detention, isn't that correct?
He's had no significant issues. He has done well in detention.
Wonderful. And he's never been to TJJD before,
No, ma'am.
and he's never been to a residential placement through either CPS or juvenile probation.
That's correct.
I'll pass the witness.
Were you
Nothing
direct?
further. Nothing further.
Thank you. All right, you have another witness, Ms. Smith?
No, Your Honor, state will rest.
Ms. Herrick, any exhibits?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, is there allocution, Ms. Smith, on this?
No, there isn't.
All right, closings?
Your Honor, state would just ask that you follow the agreed stipulation, that he be sentenced to 5 years, commitment probated for 5 years, and that he have no contact with any of the victims in this case, that he wear an electronic monitor for as long as the court sees fit, that he possess no weapons or firearm, including real or fake, submitting to random UAs, and to abide by an 8:30 p.m. curfew.
Herrick, closing?
Yes, briefly. Calvin is aware of the term of probation and all the conditions. He also requests that you follow the plea agreement.
Hey, Calvin, I'm here. I got a social history that was admitted as evidence. The law does not allow me to see that until after I've adjudicated you delinquent, okay? Your attorney has had it for several days now, so is the district attorney, but this is the first time I've had the chance to look at it. Mr. Lewis, your probation officer, spent the time to write this out, so I always read these. So if you just give me a minute while I look over this. Mr. Lewis, I have a question for you. Academically, he dropped out of Eagle Mountain ISD?
Yes, sir. He was referred to their alternative program and never showed at that program, and they've classified him as a dropout.
Okay. You know what his last level of grade of completion was?
Let me double check. He was enrolled. He was enrolled as an 11th grader in Saginaw High School. I believe he completed the 10th last year.
Okay. And how's he been doing? Well, we've suspended school here at Kimbo, correct? During the coronavirus?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the court, having reviewed the competent evidence provided during this trial, will find that the child is in need of rehabilitation and the protection of the public, as well as the child requires disposition to be made. The court will honor the stipulated plea bargain agreement between the parties. Mr. Moore, what I'm doing now is I'm committing you to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department for a period of 5 years. However, I am probating that commitment and giving you an opportunity for over the next 5 years, if you do what you're supposed to do, what this court instructs you to do, even if you don't agree with it, as long as you do what we tell you to do, then you will not go to TJJD, you will not go to TDC. However, I need to make sure you understand, I just sentenced you to 5 years. Do you understand that? Like at this point, you belong in TJJD and to finish out at TDC. However, I'm giving you one last chance, right? Because the law says I'm supposed to give you every reasonable chance to be in the community before I remove you from the community to send you to TJJD. So this is that chance, okay? Mr. Moore, I'm gonna keep it real straight with you right now. I have very little confidence that you're making it through probation. Okay? I don't think you are. I don't think this is right. Your attorney did a good job for you, okay? The attorneys got together and they obviously see something in you that I don't. But if you ask me to bet, my bet is we're gonna see each other fairly soon because you're gonna have violated your probation and I'll be sending you to TJJD. What I want you to do is prove me wrong. Prove that I'm betting on the wrong horse on this one, that you actually have what it takes to make it through probation and that the judge is wrong on this one. The judge doesn't get you like the attorneys do, like your mom does, like the probation officers does, that I'm just way off on this one and that you want me to eat my words. That's what I want you to do, okay? But you understand where I'm coming from though. If I think that you're not gonna make it, I'm gonna have fairly little patience with you if you keep on fooling around on probation, okay? You see where my perspective is right now.
Yes, sir, I do.
You understand, you've had those peers in your life where you just felt like, hey, I'm just gonna give up on them because they're not doing any good, right? You know people like that.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of the way I feel about you. But just like any other person that you know, they always have a chance to prove themselves right. And I'm giving you this chance to prove yourself right on this one, okay? I'm trying to talk to you like a man. You're almost 17 years old, or you are 17 years old now, right? So I'm talking to you like a man. You understand anything that you do now, you're in the adult system.
Yes, sir.
Now you understand if you get arrested as an adult, we put a hold on you in juvenile, you can't bond out on a juvenile probation violation,
Yes,
even though you can with an adult, okay? So I want to let you know that I have sentenced you and committed you, but I'm giving you this chance, right? Now, as part of this, I'm going to go ahead and follow the recommendation of TCAP, right? Also put an electronic monitor on you. We'll see how long that lasts. Typically it's 30 days. Yours may last longer. It really depends on how you're doing on electronic monitor. You also have an 8:30 curfew, which I think is reasonable. As Mr. Lewis and this probation goes on, he may recommend we change those hours. I don't want you out at night, okay?
Yes, sir.
Here's the other thing is, I'm also gonna make a requirement that you get your high school diploma. Not a GED, but a diploma. You are going to finish high school,
Yes,
right?
sir.
This is a requirement for you. GED is not the graduate equivalence, it's the good enough diploma is what it is. And I don't believe that you need to be a person who thinks about what's good enough. You need to excel. You've got great things about you, but you're suckered into the wrong crowds. And the more you hang out with the people that you chose to hang out with, the more likely you are to go to TDC, and then you can spend 5 years with those people that you shouldn't be hanging out with. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So you are required to get your diploma. If you stay as a dropout and it turns out that you turn 19, because after 19, the schools can't take you, then that's considered a violation for probation. A GED is not good enough. You got to get your diploma, okay?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to walk across the stage if you don't want to go. But you got to get that piece of paper. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so I will let you know that that the court will make a finding that the child's parent has made a reasonable good faith effort to prevent the child from engaging in delinquent conduct, and that despite the parent's efforts, the child continued to engage in such conduct. The court will waive any requirement for community service that may be imposed upon a parent under this section. Is there any restitution, Mr. Lewis?
No, sir, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Specifically, Mr. Moore, the reason for this disposition is I'm very concerned about you. I'm concerned that you may try and hit a lick someday and they have a gun and you're dead. Or that one of your friends ends up shooting somebody, or you end up hurting somebody or shooting somebody, all right? You could go to prison for up to 40 years for this one. So you need to be grateful that your attorney got this knocked down as far as she did. So I need to let you know that at this point, your probation can be transferred to adult probation. Before your 19th birthday, we have to have a hearing and I get to decide how you're doing. I believe in redemption, okay? I believe that kids sometimes make kid decisions and that it was just a bad mistake and you do not belong in the adult system. I also think that you've shown a pattern of behavior, especially using a gun, that you probably don't belong in the kid system, that you belong in the adult system. So I'm on the fence right now. Like on a seesaw, I'm like right at that middle balancing point. I need you to tip it one way or the other. And that gives me more information. So we'll have another hearing to decide whether I transfer you to adult criminal courts to finish your probation, or I just let you go after finishing the next 2 years here on the juvenile level, all right? If I do end up sending you to TJJD, then you could, in theory, be transferred to TDC, and that would be a hearing that we have before your 19th birthday as well. Also want to let you know that you do not have a right to appeal, okay, because I followed the plea bargain agreement. We went over that. Mr. Lewis will get you a piece of paper that looks like this. And what it is I've signed it, and I wrote there that I admonished you of this, but I'm certifying that you cannot appeal this one. That's one copy will stay in the court record.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, you may have a right to seal your records under Chapter 58 of the Texas Family Code. A lot of it actually is going to depend on how you do on your probation. Okay? At this point, you could, but if you do wrong, you may not be able to seal your records. You have no right to appeal. And Ms. Smith, there's nothing in the record that I found to indicate that the victim or intended victim was under 17 years old. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So there'll be no finding as far as the age of any victim. All right. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Moore?
No, sir.
Okay. So you understand, I doubt you, but I'm begging you to prove me wrong. Okay. I know you can. My bet is the people that you're hanging out with is why you're here. And I'm betting the people that you hung out with are the people your mom did not approve of. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm actually going to tell you right now, straight up, if you only hang out with people that your mom approves of, we'll have no problem. We'll never see each other again. Right? The DA will recommend I just dismiss the probation. It just happens as a matter of law. Like I'll just sign it. Okay. But this is what it boils down to. If you just finish high school and you don't hang around people your mom tells you to stay away from, man, we're never going to talk again. You'll be fine. But
Yes.
either of those two things, you break it, and we're going to have issues. And you may be going to TJJD next week.
Yes, sir.
All right? Okay. Ms. Herrick, anything that I missed?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Smith, anything that I missed?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Calvin, happy birthday. But remember, if you mess up, you could spend
40 years.
18th birthday, 19th, 20th, 21st birthday on probation, violate your probation, then spend your 22nd, 23rd, 24th birthdays in TDC. You understand?
Yes, sir.
If you do everything wrong, that's the worst it can turn out with. So don't do that. Just get done. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, sir.
Happy birthday, Calvin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to jump into detention hearings.
Yeah, I'll see you over there. I'm about to head over myself.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right where you were sitting earlier. Yeah.
Automatic. I thought the Zoom was automatic.
It does, but this.
Holy crap.
You having trouble?
Good morning. What's happening?